Good afternoon and happy Easter to you all. You are listening to SNUathletics.com. I'm John Hale with you in the booth today for today's doubleheader in baseball between the SNU Crimson Storm and the Southwestern Oklahoma State Bulldogs. Games 2 and 3 of this Bulldog Crimson Storm Battle of Route 66 series for the year. SWOSU took the first game yesterday commandingly by a score of 10-0 over the Crimson Storm here in Bethany, but the Crimson Storm looking to right the ship as they have not won a game since March 16th on their trip to Russellville to take on Arkansas Tech, where they beat the Wonder Boys in game 1 of that series by a score of 5-3. Southwestern Oklahoma State is currently coming off of a sweep against the conference-leading Arkansas Monticello. So this Cybert Athletic Complex at Phelan Field has kind of been home away from home for the Bulldogs, as they are 7-0 in Bethany now, as both teams have been members of the Great American Conference. The last win for the Crimson Storm came in the final game of the series in 2015. Head coach Robert Lee is just 7 wins away from recording his 100th win in his career, and Garrett Perez enters the week 3rd all-time in school history in times being hit by a pitch at 28. He is currently the school leader in stolen bases. Cody White is 2nd all-time in hit by pitch 29. DJ Hare holds the record at 30. SNU as a team leads the GAC in times hit by a pitch with 50. Southwestern Oklahoma State is just behind in 2nd at 49. The Crimson Storm are 4th in the conference in stolen bases with 32, and Perez is 2nd in the GAC with 12. Emilio Escobedo leads the conference in slugging percentage at .759. He is also 11th in batting average at .370. Cole Wagner is right behind him in 12th at .366. Wagner is also 4th in on-base percentage at .480. Escobedo is tied for 9th in home runs at 6, while Wagner is tied for 2nd in doubles with 9. David Gustafson is 8th in the GAC in strikeouts with 41, and Austin Cooper leads the conference in saves with 6. And it will be Gustafson on the mound today for the Crimson Storm, as we are just about 7 minutes away from game time. Perez has reached base safely in each of the last 24 games. It is the highest streak of the career, breaking Cooper's 23. Cole Lee is also on a 7-game hitting streak heading into the week, while Perez is on a 6-game streak. The longest of the year is 10 by Cooper. Just want to give you a little bit of a look at the GAC standings. Bringing up the rear comfortably in last place is East Central, who's only won 1 Great American Conference game of the year at 1-17, and only 2 games in the year in total at 2-25. Crimson Storm are right in front of them, however, by a long shot. They have recorded 5 wins in the conference, 13 losses. Washita's in front of the Crimson Storm at 6-12. Northwestern Oklahoma State and Harding are tied at 7-11. Harding is at 500 in the conference at 9-9. That's Southeastern, excuse me. Southwestern is at 10-8, tied for with Oklahoma Baptist at 10-8. Arkansas Tech checks in at 11-7. Southern Arkansas 13-5. Henderson is 14-4, and leading the conference is Arkansas Monticello at 15-3, 21-7 overall, and have won their last 5 games. Beautiful day in Bethany, the Saturday before Easter Sunday. Absolutely gorgeous here. It's about 70 degrees and with a cool wind blowing in from the back of the bleachers. So I'm looking at the American flag there in center field. It is blowing straight out of the park, which means that if SNU can get a hold of some pitches, they may be going on a little trip. With that being said, let's go over your starting lineups for today, starting with Southwestern Oklahoma State. Batting first in center field, the left-hander, number 2, Brian Miranda. He's a junior. In fact, he is a junior out of Puerto Rico and Coffeyville Community College. Batting second in left field, Chase Duncan, a junior out of Holiday, Texas. He's number 10. Batting third, the shortstop, number 19, Alex Pimentel. He's a junior out of El Paso, Texas. Batting fourth, the designated hitter, Brooks Benson, the senior, number 28. Benson is a product out of Parker, Colorado, and a transfer from Nebraska Kearney. Batting fifth, number 11, the third baseman, Daniel Richardson, a senior out of Claiborne, Texas. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 5, Brady Bertner. He's a junior out of Blackwell, Oklahoma. Batting seventh, the first baseman, Jason Nichols, number 6. He's a senior out of Weatherford, Oklahoma, hometown product. Batting eighth, number 8, the catcher, Robert Pereira. Pereira is a junior out of El Paso, Texas, and a transfer from Dodge City Community College. And finally, batting in the last spot, in the 9th spot, number 7, the right fielder, the senior, Marion McLean. McLean is a product from Phoenix, Arizona, and Morehead State transfer. On the mound for the Bulldogs is Brendan Pietzmeyer. He's a senior, 3.26 ERA, 2 wins, 1 loss in 12 appearances, 29 strikeouts. He's pitched 30.1 innings, and he's a product out of Aurora, Colorado. And now your starting lineups for the Crimson Storm. Or, excuse me, before that, the Bulldogs are coached by Zach Saunders and assisted by J.R. Head, Ryan Linneberg, Connor Anderson, and Trevor Welton. Now the Crimson Storm starters. Batting first, number 5, the center fielder, a junior, Garrett Perez. Batting second, number 2, right fielder, Cole Lee. Batting third, number 3, the shortstop, Cole Wagner. Batting fourth, number 19, the second baseman, Austin Cooper. Batting fifth, number 7, the designated hitter, Emilio Escobedo. Batting sixth, number 4, third baseman, Shelby Reese. Batting seventh, the youngest player on the starting lineup, number 44, the first baseman, a sophomore, Joe Toilolo, batting with his left hand, batting in the left box, as well as Cole Lee, who's also left-handed. In the 8th slot, number 25, the catcher, Jake Vernon. And in the last slot, number 22, left fielder, Christian Dent. On the mound for the Crimson Storm is number 9, right-handed pitcher David Gustafson with an ERA of 7.04, 3 wins, 5 losses in 8 appearances. So that will do it for our pregame. Be right back in just a moment as we do the prayer and invocation. We'll be right back with the first pitch between the Bulldogs and the Crimson Storm here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. We are all set for our first pitch in Game 2 of this 3-game series between the Crimson Storm and the Bulldogs. Crimson Storm looking to bounce back and even up the series at 1 apiece before going into a rubber game at about 30 minutes following this one. Leading off for the Bulldogs is Brian Miranda, the center fielder, number 2. He's going to be followed by Duncan and Pimentel. First pitch delivered by David Gustafson is on the outside. Ball 1, and we are off and running. That one goes low into the dirt. Ball 2, Gustafson trying to gauge that strike zone. Miranda is hitting .408 on the year. That's his average. In 130 at-bats, he has 53 hits. Gets a good chop on this one over to the second baseman through the legs of Cole Wagner, the shortstop, who's going to be chopping for second, and he's going to get there. So a good start for the Bulldogs as Wagner is going to be recorded an error against him. That seemed like a hard-hit ball, but one that he should have been able to field. Tough start for Wagner. So that'll put Miranda on second base and bring up Chase Duncan. He's hitting .255 on the year with 27 hits, 2 home runs on the year, 19 RBIs. And that one finally finds the strike zone. First strike delivered by Gustafson today. Gustafson is recording 43 strikeouts on the season thus far. And there's a stolen base attempt, and the pitch gets away from the catcher. Jake Vernon was able to get to that one in time. Gustafson able to cover. However, Miranda will easily trot over to third base. It's 1 ball, 1 strike, man. 90 feet away from scoring. That one just above the strike zone on the inside corner. 2 balls, 1 strike now for Duncan. And a good chop over to shortstop. Wagner able to make the play this time. Thrown out at first, however, Miranda is able to score on a sacrifice. Bulldogs go up 1-0 here in the first inning. Player choice will score Miranda for the Bulldogs. That one's right over the plate, strike 1. Going up against Alex Pimentel, hitting .392 on the year, 49 hits. He's got 2 home runs, 32 RBIs. Gets a good chop at this one and fouls it off. Strike 2. Pimentel now down in the count with 1 out. And a swing and a miss. He's going to go off and running, but Toilolo is able to be gathered to the catch to be thrown out. So 2 outs now for the Bulldogs, and brings it the designated hitter, Brooks Benson. Benson's hitting .300 even. First pitch thrown is a strike against Benson, so Gustafson about to find his stride, it seems. Throwing some very good pitches so far. That one once again, the strike zone. Strike 2, right over the plate on a fastball. And a swing and a miss is going to sink Benson and end the inning, but not before the Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead. So after an early mistake for the Crimson Storm and an error that records a run, Crimson Storm are going to look to answer when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm going to have their first chance at the plate. They're going to be led off by Garrett Perez, the center fielder. Hitting .244 on the year, 32 runs, 22 hits, 3 RBIs, 1 triple on the year. First pitch goes on the outside. And he gets a good piece of this one. Off back towards the wall. Out of here. Garrett Perez with a leadoff home run. Ties up the ball game with one swing of the bat, and all it takes is 2 pitches. Garrett Perez with his first home run of the year to tie up the ball game in the bottom of the first. So that'll bring up Cole Lee, the freshman, who lays down a bunt and it just goes foul. So Crimson Storm dugout full of energy right now following a leadoff home run by Garrett Perez. So that will definitely put a shot of energy into the Crimson Storm. You can credit just that little push to the about 10-mile-an-hour wind we have blowing here. It's going in and out around 5 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. It's blowing right out of the park. That one goes outside. That one goes high up toward Lee's face. Ties up the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one's on the outside as well. Brings up a full count, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Cole Lee trying to get on base any way he can. Here's the payoff pitch. Gets a good piece of this one and pops it out towards left field. And that one is able to be corralled, this time by Chase Duncan out there in left field. So Cole Lee will trot back to the dugout and bring up number 3, Cole Wagner. Senior's hitting .347 on the year, 37 hits, or excuse me, 34 hits. 34 hits, 3 home runs, 20 RBIs. And he gets a good piece of this one back towards left field again, and it's going to be Duncan who's able to make the grab once more. That'll bring up Austin Cooper. Number 19, the second baseman, hitting .343 on the year. 34 hits. 34 hits on the year. He's got 0 home runs to himself. 16 RBIs, though. So that first pitch goes ball. A swing and a miss. We'll even up the count at 1 apiece. That one finds the strike zone right over the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Austin Cooper pops this one up towards center field. And he had to rush up to it, but then slow down as Brian Miranda will end the inning. So both pitchers give up both defenses, I should say, give up an early mistake, which leads to a run. We're tied up at 1 apiece as we go to the top of the second. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Up for the Bulldogs, going to be Richardson, Bertner, and Nichols. Richardson is the third baseman, hitting .301 on the year. 31 hits, 8 home runs, the most out of anybody in the starting lineup. That one goes way on the outside for Gustafson. A swing and a miss. Hard swing and a miss. That one too low, trying to find the corner. And it is 2-1, the count. A swing and a miss will even up the count once more. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Richardson going up against Gustafson. And this is a good chop into left field. It's going to go down as a base hit. And that is where he will stay at base number 1. Richardson opens up the second inning with a hit. Bring up Brady Bertner. So this one goes outside once more. Brady Bertner trying to get some more offense out of the Bulldogs. Swings and misses hard on a low ball. Evens up the count, 1 apiece. The count stands at 2 balls, 2 strikes for Bertner against Gustafson. And there goes the steal and base. That one's popped up high, and it's going to go foul. Didn't tell you where exactly it went. I just saw that it went up. Nevertheless, goes foul. So everything stays the same. Here's the that one goes high. Full count coming up for Gustafson against number 5, Bertner. Goes to check on the runner, which would be Richardson. And that one gets away from Toilolo. And this could spell trouble. It goes all the way to third base on an errant throw by Gustafson. And gets him on the outside corner. Strike 3 against Bertner. That'll sink him and bring up number 6 for the Bulldogs, Jason Nichols, the first baseman. First one goes over the plate. Strike 1. On deck for the Bulldogs is number 8, Robert Pereira. That one goes low for ball 1. That one on a curveball, inside corner, strike 2. That one on the inside bottom corner, strike 3. Gustafson, 2 strikeouts in a row. 2 outs, and now puts the pressure on Pereira. Two outs now with a runner 90 feet away from scoring. Swing and a miss for Pereira. Strike one, Gustafson trying to get out of this inning with no damage to that scoreboard. That one's over the plate as well, strike two. Pereira down in the count. That one just high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one's into the dirt. Ball 2. Evens up the count. 2 balls in a row now. That one just on the outside, and a lot of the Crimson Storm faithful aren't happy about that placement, about that call. Full count now, 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs now. Pereira trying to get on base, keep the Bulldogs alive. And that one's called ball 4. So men on the corners now. And it brings up the bottom of the order, Marion McLean. McLean is a senior, hitting .267 on the year. 24 hits, 2 doubles, 1 home run, and 14 RBIs. Swing and a miss from McLean. Put him down in the count early. That one goes down in the dirt, and Richardson thought he had a beat on him, but that was going to be a wild pitch. Thought about it for just a moment. That one is low as well. 2 balls, 1 strike now. That one's way outside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. And all of a sudden, Gustafson has not thrown a strike in a while. That one's outside as well and loads up the bases. Here's a timeout coming, and Coach Tim Cole is going to go talk to Gustafson and see what's going on. As Gustafson is about to enter this jam. Bases are loaded, and Crimson Storm are tied with the Bulldogs at 1 run apiece. And it looks like they've got it sorted out. Crimson Storm looking for 1 out, and it's going to be Brian Miranda, the top of the order again for the Bulldogs. He reached on an error and he has a stolen base, but that error came on a routine play for Wagner, which he couldn't handle. Went right between Wagner's legs. That one finally finds the strike zone for Gustafson. 1 strike, no balls. 2 outs, and the bases are loaded. Gets a good crack on it and just goes foul. 2 strikes now. That one sounded good as it left the bat, but it's just going to go off to the right. And Miranda calls time, tries to gather himself. This one's fouled off, this time to the left and back towards the SNU clubhouse. That one was on the outside as well, ball 1. It's a foul tip. It went behind the catcher, which SNU should be grateful that he got a piece of it. Otherwise, that's scoring a run with Richardson hanging out there at third base. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And this one's cracked over to first base. Toilolo's going to tag him out. That will bring us to the middle of the 2nd. Gustafson and the Crimson Storm defense get out of the jam. And they go to the bottom of the 2nd inning looking to take a lead here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. We're in the bottom of the 2nd now. And it's going to be Emilio Escobedo leading off for the Crimson Storm. Gets a good beat on that one and flies it straight out to center field. Sounded good as he left the bat, and just wanted it to be a little bit shallower than he put it. Nevertheless, Miranda makes the grab, and that will be a quick end to Escobedo's chances at the plate. And it'll bring up Shelby Reese, the third baseman. That one finds a strike zone right over the plate. And that one's very close to hitting Reese. Very close. That one's over the strike zone as well. 1 ball, 2 strikes now, 1 out. This one is popped up behind the scoreboard, or excuse me, behind the press box where the scoreboard is being managed. That one's low into the dirt. Ball 2. This one is hit into center field, and he's backtracking toward the wall. Miranda will be able to make that grab. So Miranda getting plenty of work out there in the center field. And it brings up the first baseman, number 44, Joe Toilolo, hitting a solid third of his at-bats. 333. 24 hits, 7 doubles, 6 RBIs. This one's on the outside of the strike zone, ball 1. Gets a good chop at that one, but just goes on the outside of that base. 1 ball, 1 strike now. This one is hit towards left field. Trotting back is Duncan, who makes the grab. And the outfield gets all the outs in the second inning, and it brings it to an end. We go to the top of the third. SWOSU back up when we come back. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It's going to be Duncan, Pimentel, and Benson on deck for the Bulldogs. Score stands at 1 run apiece. Swing and a miss is how Duncan will open up his next at-bat after going 0 for 1. Did have an RBI as a ground out as a sacrifice player's choice. Or a player's choice that would score a run. That one finds the inside as well. 2 strikes, no balls. 3 strikes, 3 pitches for David Gustafson. He sinks Duncan quick, fast, and in a hurry. That brings up Pimentel, who also went 0 for 1 with a strikeout. That one finds a strike zone. So 4 strikes in a row thrown by David Gustafson. 4 strikes in a row. That one too far inside for the first ball of this inning, delivered by Gustafson. And a swing and a miss on an outside pitch. 1 ball, 2 strikes now, one out. This one's hit to Wagner at the shortstop. Is able to be thrown out at first. Wagner not letting that one get away from him. 2 outs now, and it brings up Benson, number 28. Benson also had a strikeout today. That one's right over the plate. Strike 1. That one goes into the dirt, hops into the glove of the catcher. Ties up the count. Swing and a miss. Gustafson is tempting those SWASU batters to really hack at it. And a swing and a miss. Gustafson with a very strong third inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Crimson Storm up to bat now. It's going to be, I'm waiting for an update here. Well, the Crimson Storm are going to bring up their next 3 batters. I'll let you know who those are when we come back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It's going to be Jake Vernon, Christian Dent, and then back to the top of the order with Garrett Perez on deck for the Crimson Storm. Vernon is hitting .221 on the year. 17 hits, 4 home runs. That one on the outside low corner. Strike 1. Very similar spot, but too far outside. Ball one. Vernon was tempted by that one, decides to let it go. Now he falls down on the count 1-2. Chops that one off foul, so everything will stay the same. Gets a good piece of that one. That one's flying towards left field, and the left fielder, Duncan, able to get under it and sink Vernon. That wind blowing straight out is really lifting these pitches. It's going to bring up Christian Dent. Gets a good piece of this one, and it's going to go fair. Christian Dent with a hit. And it goes past the left fielder's glove. And he thought about going for three. He's going to back trot, go to second. Christian Dent with a double. As it got past Duncan's glove for a moment, so he thought about going three, but is held up at second. And it brings up Garrett Perez, who had a leadoff home run to start this game off for the Crimson Storm, looking for some more success. Pietzmeyer gonna give him everything he can. Try not to duplicate that mistake he made against Perez the first time. That one goes high, ball one, ties up the count. That one's inside the strike zone ball, or excuse me, strike one. Two balls, one strike, one out. Lays down a bunt, and it's going to be good. And he's going to be safe, and it goes over the head of the first baseman. Perez trips and falls, so he's going to go back to first, but it will drive home a run. Christian Dent crosses home plate. Crimson Storm go up 2-1 against the Bulldogs. Garrett Perez had an opportunity to go to second, but he tripped and fell. I'm sure he wants that one back, but he's going to reach on a bunt. And Garrett Perez standing at first. And that's the first error against the Bulldogs. Brings up Cole Lee. That one goes high, way out there, ball one. And now the head coach for the Bulldogs is going to come out and talk to his pitcher, and the entire infield is in. So I'm wondering if this is going to be a pitching change. And no, they just wanted to talk to Pietzmeyer. So here comes Cole Lee. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out against the Crimson Storm. That one's way outside again, ball 2. Way outside, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Coley really trying to crowd that plate. And there goes Perez going for second. And he is going to be safe at second. Stolen base. Well, it was not, in fact, excuse me. There was just ball 4. So Perez would have been safe either way. A walk for Cole Lee. Puts men on first and second. It'll bring up Cole Wagner, the shortstop. That one finds the strike zone for the first pitch. 1 strike, no balls, 1 out. This one is hit towards the shortstop, and he lost it for a second. Trying to make an off-balance throw, and he popped out of his hand. That's Pimentel. He's trying to make the play at second and turn a double play, but it popped out of his hand, and so the Crimson Storm load up the bases with Austin Cooper at the plate. 1 out against the Crimson Storm. Now the Bulldogs are in a jam. This one's a little bit more serious with 1 out as opposed to 2 outs for the Crimson Storm earlier. That one goes for strike 1. Austin Cooper, just a reminder, I mean, he hasn't hit a home run this year, but he has 2 doubles and 37 hits. Gets a good beat on this one. This will drive in a run. Makes the grab in center field, tags up, and now he's going. And that will put on another run for the Crimson Storm. Austin Cooper on a sacrifice fly. Puts the Crimson Storm up 3 runs to 1. With 2 outs, it brings up Emilio Escobedo. 6 home runs for Escobedo this year as a freshman. Men on the corners. This one goes down to the dirt, ball 1. This one's hit towards the SNU dugout. Foul ball, strike 1. This one's hit well. This is going to go down as a base hit off into left field. Digging for third, and he's going to be thrown out. And that will end the inning as Cole Lee was digging for third, and Cole Wagner was digging for third. He gets called out, but not before the Crimson Storm bring another one across the plate. Crimson Storm score 3 runs in the 3rd inning. They are on top of the Bulldogs 4 runs to 1 as we go to the top of the 4th inning here on SNUathletics.com. Richardson, Bertner, and Nichols on deck for the Bulldogs as we are back at SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm go 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error, and they leave 1 on base. They're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. As we start the 4th inning, the Bulldogs are going to try and answer that. They are down 4-1 to the Crimson Storm. Gets a good piece of that one, and it's going to go fair over to the 3rd baseman. And no, the first base umpire, Burl Butler, is going to say otherwise. Say that it went off the player's leg. And now Robert Lee's going to go talk to him. Just going to get an explanation of what's happening. And he's just as upset as the rest of the SNU dugout. That looked like it was fair the whole way. Goes over to Toy Lolo, and Toy Lolo is going to easily pick him up and tag it out. But nevertheless, goes down as a foul. Robert Lee's given the explanation. He'll go back to the dugout. So no balls, 1 strike with no outs. That one goes over the plate, strike 2. Got some clouds moving in now. Taking away the sun on what was an absolutely picture-perfect day. That one goes low. Ball 1. Gets a good piece of this one, and it's popped up high, and it's going to go foul. This one's hit over to the shortstop, and he's unable to make the grab with his glove. Wagner with his 2nd error of the ball game. So Richardson able to reach first base again. Now bring up Brady Bertner. This is the heart of the order for the Bulldogs. There was a runner going, but fouls it off towards the parking lot. This one is hit towards right center, and there's a collision out there. One of the Crimson Storm players is down as they ran into each other, and that did not look good. I can't quite see who that number is. It's either Garrett Perez or Cole Lee back there. And it was a hard collision back there. Trying to make that grab. They drop it, so that will go down. I do believe that will go down as an error. And Austin Cooper and Joe Toilolo are out there pretty much kneeling in shallow center field. And I believe that's Garrett Perez out there. It is. Garrett Perez is out there sitting down and trying to make sure that he's okay. We'll check back with that here on SNUathletics.com. We'll be right back. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Just an update for you. Garrett Perez was the player that got hit on that collision with Cole Lee, but it seemed that he was able to walk off under his own power, so we hope that he's okay. Not exactly sure what the changes are in the lineup. There's some shifting stuff going on in the outfield for sure. Check back with that here. And it looks like Christian Dent has moved out to right field. Shelby Reese in left field. Cole Lee in center. A.J. Neelums is hanging out there at shortstop as Dave Gustafson delivers a strike to start out his campaign against Jason Nichols. So the only player that replaces anybody is Neelam's. That one goes high above the head. Neelam's is a freshman from Oceanside, California. This one is fouled off, strike 2. That one is a wild pitch, goes away, and that will score a run for the Bulldogs. And now there's one player on third. Bulldogs cut the deficit in half. Or excuse me, cut it by a third, I should say. Score stands at 4-2. Crimson Storm on top. Tying run officially now at the plate. This one is hit into left field. They'll score another run for the Bulldogs. 4-3 game now for the Crimson Storm versus Swasu. As Perea comes up to the plate as Nichols trots over to first. That one goes high, ball 1. This one is hit towards the shortstop. Looks like they're going to try and turn 2, and they do. Double play for the Crimson Storm after the hit goes to Neelam's. Goes to Cooper at second and Toilolo at first. 2 outs now for the Crimson Storm, and that was much needed. Brings up Marion the clean in the bottom of the order. Goes high, ball 1. This one goes way outside, ball 2. That one low on the corner. Strike 1. Try to lay down a bunt. Strike 2. Gets a little bit into this one, and it will go down as a hit into center field where Cole Lee is able to get to it. So just a single there. Stayed in the air for a while, but Cole Lee couldn't approach it in time. Brings up Brian Miranda for his third at bat. He's gone 0 for 2. He reached on an error. And he grounded out the second time. He's has a stolen base to his name. He was left on base 3 times. That one finds the bottom inside corner, strike 1. This one is hit. And I thought he grabbed him on, and Robert Lee is livid. That one popped over to the second baseman, and he looked to me that he tagged the runner going to second. And Robert Lee was rushing out there, and now they call it an out. Finally call it an out, and they're going to say that he kind of came out of the running path. So that'll end the inning, but not before the Swansea Bulldogs cut it to just a one-run game. Once again, the score stands at Crimson Storm 4, Bulldogs 3. We are going to the bottom of the fourth here at SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Shelby Reese, Joe Toilolo. Shelby Reese rips this one, and it's going to the left. And it looked like a home run to start. I couldn't see it. It kind of got lost up there in the clouds, but the umpire's calling foul, and it looked good, ladies and gentlemen. It looks very, very good. And that coach for SNU on the third base line thought it was a home run for sure. So ties up the count on a ball. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That one comes in on a curve, strike 2. And a swing and a miss is going to sink Shelby Reese, and he was hesitant on that one, and he couldn't believe he went. 1 out now. Brings up Joe Toilolo. He had a fly out earlier. Swing and a miss is how Joe Toilolo will start. And another swing and a miss brings it down to 0-2. That one's outside, ball 1. Gets a good piece of this one off to right field and not able to make the dive. Not able to make the dive and catches McLean. And Toilolo stands at first base. And brings up Jake Vernon with 1 out. And this is a good hit into left field. It brings Toilolo to second. So Vernon with one pitch shoots it through the gap into the left field and brings up Christian Dent. Christian Dent is 1 for 1 with a double earlier. That one finds the inside strike zone. That one goes low, ball one. Day's gotten a little bit cooler since these clouds rolled in. That one goes low below the strike zone as well, ball 2. That one goes high, ball 3. That one finds a strike zone, brings up a full count, 3-2, 1 out. Here comes the payoff pitch, and a swing and a miss will sink Christian Dent. Now 2 outs, and it'll bring up Neelums, who replaces Garrett Perez at the top of the order. That one goes over the plate, strike 1. There's ball 1. That one goes below the strike zone, pops up into the glove of the catcher. Ball 2. Gets a good chop of this one and goes in the glove and off the foot of the third baseman, Daniel Richardson, and out loads up the bases with 2 outs. And Cole Lee, the freshman, comes up to the plate. This one is hit, gone foul. Got some activity in the SWASU bullpen now. And goes outside, ball 1. This one is hit towards left field, and he makes the diving grab. That was the left fielder, Chase Duncan, who was able to make a diving play. And in the inning, impressive web gem for the Bulldogs. That'll bring the 4th inning to an end. We go to the 5th inning here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It's going to be Duncan, Pimentel, and Benson on deck for the Bulldogs. This one is chopped over for foul. That one goes low, ball one, evens up the count. Swing and a miss on an outside pitch. Outside and low. Brings him down on the count for Duncan. The second player in the lineup for the Bulldogs. That one goes down into the dirt. Ball two. That one goes away from the catcher. Going to bring up a full count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, no outs against Duncan. And that one goes too far inside, and Duncan will trot over to first base. He'll bring up Alex Pimentel. He's gone 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. That one finds the strike zone on the bottom of the strike zone. Strike one. This one is hit towards right field. And a diving grab made by a Crimson Storm player this time. It's Christian Dent who lays out and makes the grab and keeps the runner at first. Pimentel walks back to the dugout and brings up Brooks Benson. Swing and a miss for Benson. Puts him down in the count early, 0-1. This one is shot over foul, and that one nearly hit a group of female fans over there, and they had no idea it was coming their way. Oh, 2 the count now against Benson. That one goes low for the first ball of the pitch by Gustafson. This one is hit towards the left, and this one is long gone. Bulldogs regain the lead on a 2-run homer by Brooks Benson. The Bulldogs now stand atop the Crimson Storm 5-4 in the 5th inning. Scored 2 runs in their last 2 innings. First pitch, can't find the strike zone, ball 1. This one is fouled out. Strike 1. Another foul hit off by Daniel Richardson. Richardson has been able to get on base both times he's been up to bat. One on an error and one by his own doing. This one has popped up. This one will stay in play inside the infield, and it's brought down by the third baseman, Cole Wagner. 2 outs now for the Crimson Storm as they're trying to get out of the 5th inning so they can respond. This one is hit over to the second baseman, Cooper, who throws it over to Toilolo, and that will bring us to the middle of the 5th inning. Crimson Storm relinquished the lead on a 2-run homer by Brooks Benson. It's their turn to try and answer. We'll come back with the bottom of the 5th inning here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It'll be Wagner, Cooper, and Escobedo on deck for the Crimson Storm. Still going up against Pietzmeyer, who delivers a strike to start out his bottom of the 5th inning. This one goes low for ball 1. Evens up the count. And a swing and a miss. Put Wagner down 1-2. This one is hit, and it'll go down as a base hit into left center. Cole Wagner continues his day, going 2 for 3 now. So Austin Cooper comes to the plate. He has an RBI on a sacrifice fly. And one of those being one of 2 fly outs today. This one is hit back towards the wall, and it is out of here. Austin Cooper takes the lead back for the Crimson Storm. So the Crimson Storm and the Bulldogs trading blows now. A two-run home run by the Bulldogs is answered by a 2-run home run for the Crimson Storm. Crimson Storm retake the lead on Austin Cooper's first home run of the year. Crimson Storm stand on top, 6-5 now in the bottom of the 5th. And Escobedo trying to follow it up here as he fouls off a pitch. This one he gets a piece of and off to the right. However, this one is going to stay in play and have Marion McLean being able to bring it down. So Emilio Escobedo will trot back. First out of the inning. Brings up Shelby Reese. A strikeout and a fly out for his day today, trying to find some more production. But not before. We're gonna have a pitching change for the Bulldogs, and we're gonna let that take place and let the new pitcher for the Bulldogs get warmed up. We'll be right back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. On the mound now for the Bulldogs is number 18, Brant Millerborg. Millerborg is a right-handed pitcher. He throws one outside. Ball one going up against Shelby Reese. This one is hit high. It's just going to be a routine pop-up in the infield, brought down by the second baseman, Brady Bertner. Millerborg is a 6'3", 250-pound junior right-handed pitcher from Piedmont, Oklahoma, and a transfer from Barton Community College. That one goes on the outside. Ball one. This one finds a strike zone. It's Toy Lolo now, who's gone 1 for 2. Gets a good chop on this one over to the pitcher, and Toilolo will be thrown out at first, and that will end the inning. Crimson Storm hit a 2-run homer to retake the lead 6-5 over the Bulldogs as we go to inning number 6. We'll be right back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Nichols, Perea, and McLean, the bottom of the order for the Bulldogs now. That one goes low below the strike zone, ball 1. That one finds the strike zone on the high inside corner. Ooh, and that one clipped him. That one clips Nichols. He's going to go to first base. Now bring up Perea. Robert Perea, who's gone 0 for 1. So he has a walk, though, so he's able to get on base, and he has a ground out so far. So the leading run now at the plate for the Bulldogs. Trying to lay down the bunt is what he showed, but he backed off. Ball 1. And there's a stolen base, and he's going to be and that hit the bottom of his bat and not hit by the pitch. Ball 2 still. Or excuse me, that since it hit the bottom of his bat is going to go foul. It's 1 ball, 1 strike now. That one finds the strike zone as he's trying to lay down, trying to show bunt. Finds the strike zone. 1 ball, 2 strikes now against Perea. This one goes just low, and a lot of Crimson Storm faithful were thinking that one found the strike zone. This one is hit into center field, and it will go down as a base hit. Looks like Cole Lee just kind of surrendered himself to it. He didn't want to make a grab and risk it getting away from him. Now possibly have a pitching change for the Crimson Storm, and we do. Gustafson's day is over. As he pitched 5 innings. He got his stats just left, but not a bad day for Gustafson, all things considered. And it's going to be Hugo Kinabuchi who's going to take the mound for the Crimson Storm now as we go to a break. We'll be right back here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It is Kinabuchi on the mound for the Crimson Storm with men on first and second. Crimson Storm lead 6-5 here in the top of the 6th inning, trying to get out of it. Goes to check on the man at second. And there's the bunt attempt. Goes past the pitcher and past everybody else. The bunt attempt works beautifully for Marion McLean. And loads up the bases with no outs. It'll bring up Brian Miranda, the top of the order for the Bulldogs. A swing and a miss. We'll start out Miranda's next at-bat. He's gone 0 for 3. This one is hit towards the shortstop. Got out at second for sure, but that will tie up the ball game. We have a tie ball game now at 6 runs apiece. The first out is delivered at second. Should have been a double play, but 1 out is better than nothing at all for the Crimson Storm. Brings up Chase Duncan. He's gone 0 for 2. This one is hit off into center field, and it is caught for out number 2, and that will bring in another run. Bulldogs retake the lead 7-6, and once again we're trading blows. If you look at the scoreboard, as the inning count, if you look at the Bulldogs side in the visitors section, it goes 2-2-2 across the 4th, 5th, and 6th, the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings. They are not exactly done just yet. 2 outs with a man on first. This one is popped up foul behind the bleachers. Strike 1. And it looks like he got a pickoff, and he did. Kenabuchi to Toilolo for a pickoff against Miranda, and Miranda is unhappy as he throws his helmet. That'll end the inning. We're trading blows here in the Cypress Athletic Complex at Phelan Field. The Bulldogs on top, but how long will that last? 7-6 to the score. We'll be right back to SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Up for the Crimson Storm, Jake Vernon. Last time he was at the plate, shot a pretty good single. And he hits this one hard, too. This one's back towards the wall, and this one is gone out of here. Jake Vernon ties up the ball game 7-7. Jake Vernon, his past 2 at-bats have just been lightning for the Crimson Storm. This one is getting to be a really fun ball game as we're in the bottom of the 6th inning. We still got 3 more innings to go after this one. It's going to be Christian Dent. got a piece of it and fouls it off behind the pitcher. This one is hit towards the shortstop. Is he going to be able to beat him? He will not. Called out at first base. Christian Dent. There's the first out for the Crimson Storm. And it brings up A.J. Neelums. He reached on an error in at his first at bat. Pitch delivered by Millenborg is over the plate. This one is fouled, but this one back towards the parking lot. 2 strikes now. This one is hit back towards right field, and this one is grabbed by Marion McLean. This one had a few of the spectators on their feet. This one looked pretty good. It's that 10-mile-an-hour wind is doing wonders for the ball. And it brings up Cole Lee. This one is hit into the SNU dugout, and that's one of those scary situations. That ball's rocketing in pretty darn fast. This one's outside. Ball 1. This one Coley hits, and it goes past both the second baseman and the first baseman. Base hit for Coley. Cole Wagner up on top. So Cole, 2 Coles back to back, and now Cole Wagner up to bat. He's gone 2 for 3. This one finds the outside corner. Strike 1. This one goes down into the dirt, and now runner is going, and he's called out at second. Cole Lee is called out at second, and that will end the inning for the Crimson Storm. So with 3 innings to go, we're tied at 7. Don't go anywhere. This is SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Another pitching change for the Crimson Storm. Cody Tolbert on the mound now. This one his first pitch goes outside for ball one. So he's going up against Pimentel. Excuse me for the delay. Pimentel up to bat. He's looking at a 1-0 situation. This one he gets a good piece of, and it is off the wall. Stays in the park, but it is off the wall, and it looks like he could be digging for three. He will. He's got wheels on him, and he is able to get there on a triple. Pimentel opens up the 7th inning with a heck of a hit. So it brings up Brooks Benson, who has a home run today. He would love to add some more offensive fireworks to this one. Swing and a miss. That's how he starts. This one's on a wild pitch. That'll bring in another run. Pimentel takes the lead for the Bulldogs once again. 8-7 the score now. Had to check and see if he went, and I don't think he did. And they say that he did. 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one is fouled off into the net. Everything will stay the same. Swing and a miss will sink Benson for the first out of the inning. It'll now bring up Daniel Richardson. That one just on the outside high corner. Ball 1 now. This one goes down to the dirt, ball 2. This one into the strike zone for the first strike. Count stands at 3-1 now after an outside pitch. There's strike 2. A full count now and a big pitch coming up for Cody Tolbert. This one is fouled out, and we have a couple of SNU players fall down. Got to make sure that they're okay. This one too far inside, and Richardson will go to first base on a walk. So this will bring up Brady Burtner. On a curve, this one will go down as a strike. Goes to check on the runner at Toilolo. This one is fouled off to the left. Strike two. This one's way outside. Ball one. A swing and a miss will sink Burtner. It's going to be Jason Nichols, who's gone 1 for 2. He has an RBI. He has also been hit by a pitch. This one too far inside and low. Goes high. Ball two. Tolbert trying to find the strike zone. That one finds the strike zone. Took a little bit for the call to come in, but it comes in. 2-1 the count, two outs. That one comes on a strike, finds the inside, strike two. There's a runner, swing and a miss, won't matter. That'll bring us to the 7th inning stretch. Crimson Storm only down 8-7. We'll be right back here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm looking to answer again the Bulldogs, who are on top 8-7. It's going to be Wagner, Cooper, and Escobedo. Swing and a miss for Wagner is how this inning will start. Next one goes just on the outside, ball one. One apiece. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wagner gets a piece of this one. It's going to go down as a base hit into left center. So Wagner will go to first. He'll bring up Austin Cooper. Cooper has a home run today. It was a 2-run shot. Looking to add to that success right here. That one goes high, ball 1. And now it looks like we might have another pitching change as the infield comes in for the SWOSU Bulldogs. And we will not. Everybody came in. The head coach is going to trot back to the dugout. So Austin Cooper will approach the plate once again. That one finds the bottom part of the strike zone, strike 1. And this one is hit, and it takes a good bounce, and the Bulldogs will turn the double play. Kind of bounced off weird off the pitcher's mound. Nevertheless, it will bring up Emilio Escobedo with 2 outs. That one on the outside, ball 1. That one bounces off the dirt, off the glove, and off to the side. Ball 2. Once again, can't find the strike zone. They're on that outside corner. 3 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Pops this one off to the right. Will it stay in? It will indeed. Emilio Escobedo is called out. That's the first scoreless inning for either team since SNU failed to score in the 4th inning. Bulldogs still on top, 8-7. As we go to the 8th inning here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. It's going to be Robert Perea leading off for the Bulldogs. It's Tolbert on the mound, and his first pitch of the inning will go low, ball one. This one is hit into left center, and it's going to go down as a base hit. Going to second, and he decides to retreat back. Perea will stay at first. It's another strong start for the Bulldogs. And we'll go high, ball one. A swing and a miss from McLean. Ties up the count. One goes outside, ball two. One goes inside, strike two. This one's hit to the second baseman, Cooper. They were not able to turn the double play. They get him out. They get Perea out at second. And I guess the foot came off the bag for Toilolo. They aren't able to get McLean. McLean will replace Perea at first, and everything will stay pretty much the same. It'll bring up Brian Miranda. That one's on the way too much on the outside. Ball one. Goes to check on McLean. That one goes off as a foul, strike one. And McLean is showing steal. This one is hit off to the left, and this one is going to go out. Strike two. Once again, Toilolo very close to getting another pickoff. And there's a runner, swing and a miss, and he's safe at second. That will sink Miranda, though. As McLean will be safe at second, Miranda will go back to the dugout. 2 outs now, and it brings up Chase Duncan. That one goes into the strike zone, strike one. That goes too far inside. Ball one. This one's chopped over foul. Strike two. This one's popped up. Going behind the bleachers, so everything will stay put. This one goes above, pretty much by the head of Chase Duncan, so it brings up ball two. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 2s across the board. This one goes down to the dirt. Ball 3. Now a big pitch coming from Tolbert. This one is hit well back towards left field. And this one is out of here. The Bulldogs will take a 3-run lead in the top of the 8th. That wind helped it sail out of Phelan Field. And it'll bring out Pimentel. This one is chopped into the SNU dugout once again. Strike one. That one goes too low, ball 1. Another ball brings up a 2-1 count. This one's popped up into center field. And it's the left fielder, left center field, who Brings it down. Christian Dent. Now SNU really needs to find some offensive production here in the 8th inning. They find themselves down 10-7 as we go to the bottom of the 8th here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Shelby Reese, Joe Toilolo, and Jake Vernon on deck for the Crimson Storm. And Shelby Reese gets a good chop at this one. It's going back towards the wall, and Shelby Reese with a leadoff home run. Cuts it down to an 8-10 deficit for the Crimson Storm. And all it takes is just one swing of the bat. Still a long ways to go for the Crimson Storm. They're still down by 2 runs in the bottom of the 8th. It's up to Joe Toilolo to keep that offensive train moving. That one goes low for ball 1. One finds the strike zone, evens up the count. 2 times in basically the exact same spot. 1-2 the count. Joe Toilolo shoots this, and it gets past the infield into the outfield. Base hit for Joe Toilolo. Brings up Jake Vernon, who has a home run today, looking to possibly grab another one. And it looks like we're going to get a pitching change for the Bulldogs now. And indeed we are. He's trotting into the infield. We'll have a quick break and let that pitcher warm up. We'll be right back here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. On the mound now for the Bulldogs, number 24, Justin Moreno, right-handed pitcher out of Amarillo, Texas, and Vernon Community College. Trying to close this sucker out for the Bulldogs. Crimson Storm trying to jump back into it. That one goes way on the outside. Ball one going up against Jake Vernon. So Moreno wants to be wary not to give Vernon a good pitch that he can hit, because as he's demonstrated, Vernon will launch it out of Phelan Field. And a swing and a miss brings up strike one. That one's way far away. Ball two and into the dirt. A swing and a miss once again. So now a 2-2 count for Vernon. That one's low. Just bring up a full count. And a big pitch coming up from Moreno. Here's the payoff pitch. Jake Vernon's going to get a piece of it and foul it off. And that one hits Jake Vernon square in the back. Vernon's going to try and run off that sharp pain. And nevertheless, SNU has men on first and second and no outs. Brings up Christian Dent. First pitch delivered is a strike. It looks like he was showing bunt and backs off, ball one. Now lays down the bunt, and he puts it right where he wants it to. And he is called out at first. However, it advances the runners. The tying run is in scoring position. And it's going to be A.J. Neelums. So one out now against the Crimson Storm. That one on the outside, or excuse me, the inside. It's going to go ball one. High and inside. Swing and a miss from Neelums. Strike one. A swing and a miss brings up strike two. Now the catcher's going to go talk to Moreno. It's important that SNU at least put it within a run. A swing and a miss. Send Neelums back to the dugout. 2 outs. Big at bat coming up for Cole Lee. Now there's going to be some conversations going on here. A swing and a miss for Cole Lee. It was a really big one. He wanted all of it. Strike one. That one's way outside this time. 1-1. This one goes down to the dirt. Ball two. That one goes on the outside as well. 3-1 count now. Lee might see something that he likes. That one goes outside. Bases are loaded. Brings up Cole Wagner. Key opportunity here for the Crimson Storm. A base hit could, on all likelihood, tie up this ball game. That one goes away. Ball one. Now the catcher goes out to have another conversation. Wagner has gone 3 for 4 today. Swing and a miss. Ties up the count, 1 apiece. This one's down in the dirt, ball 2. Got a piece of that one and fouls it off. 1 strike away for the Bulldogs of getting out of this jam. Crimson Storm, however, trying to find some offense to keep this game close going into potentially the last inning. This one is hit high. It's going to be just a regular pop. And he is able to make the grab, the first baseman, Jason Nichols. That'll end the 8th inning. So we go to the 9th. Bulldogs on top, 10-8 here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm in a big top of the 9th, trying to maintain just this 2-run deficit so they can have something to work with. This one is popped up very high, off towards the right, and it's going to fall foul. Beyond the reach of Cooper and Toilolo. So strike 1 on the board. Then they're going up against Benson, who has a home run today. SNU would like to go in with just this 2-run deficit so they can have something to work with in the bottom of the 9th. Got a foul tip on it. Strike 2. Another foul on the way. This one is hit towards the shortstop and is going to be thrown out at first. That's Neelums to Toilolo. For route number 1, brings up Daniel Richardson. This one is hit, pop up towards center, and it's going to be Cooper who brings it down. 2 outs now for the Bulldogs. That one goes into the dirt, ball 1. Brings up ball 2. Put strike 1 up there on the board as it looks like he was showing bunt for a second. This one is hit into left field, going down as a base hit. I'm sure SNU can live with that as long as nothing else is given up. This one is fouled off to the left, strike 1. This one is hit off towards left, and it falls foul. Strike 2 on the board. This one's hit towards third base, and the catch is made at first. That was a great play by Cole Wagner, who's able to get on the hard hit ball. Crimson Storm down to their final 3 outs to get 2 or more runs here on SNUathletics.com. Welcome back to SNUathletics.com. Crimson Storm down to their final 3 outs here in game number 2. Down 8-10. Austin Cooper pops this one up into shallow right field and is brought down. There's out number 1 for the Bulldogs that they need. That brings up Emilio Escobedo. This one goes on the inside for strike 1. Let's get a piece of this. Gets a piece of that one. Strike 2. That one goes high, ball 1. Just trying to throw Escobedo off the scent of his pitch pattern. Gets a piece of this one, shoots it off. Tying run is coming to the plate as Emilio Escobedo finally gets his first hit of the ball game. It's going to be Shelby Reese who has a home run today. Perfectly in his power to tie it up. This one is hit towards the right, and it's going to go foul. Caught by a SWOSU player. He's just not in play over there in the SWOSU bullpen. Goes to check on Escobedo. Only 1 out for the Crimson Storm. This one is hit. This one's going into center field. Escobedo can dig for third, which he will do. Escobedo 90 feet away from cutting this game to a 1-run deficit. And it brings up Joe Toilolo.
First base number 44, Joe Toilolo.
So he is the winning run, Joe Toilolo. This one is shot really hard, but it goes foul off to the right. And Joe Toilolo really jumping on this pitch. This one is hit, and it's going to go fair. And it cuts it to a 1-possession game, goes off, and now the tying run is only 90 feet away at third base. Went off the glove of Marion McLean. That allowed Shelby Reese to dig for third, and he is safe and 90 feet away from tying up this ball game as Toilolo is going to be subbed out for a pinch runner. Do believe it's going to be number 11, Jose Gonzalez. And it will be. Jose Gonzalez is a product out of Houston, Texas, North Shore St. Gregory's High School. 5'5", 160 junior. And it is Jake Vernon. And now the infield is coming in once again for a meeting for SWOSU. What is the decision here for head coach Zach Saunders? the decision is to keep number 24, Moreno, out there. Jake Vernon, 1 out against the Crimson Storm. Tying run 90 feet away. Winning run is on first. Swing and a miss, and Jake Vernon likes that pitch right where he wanted it, high and outside. Brings up a 1-0-1 count. There's another swing and a miss for Jake Vernon. Strike 2. On deck for the Crimson Storm is Christian Dent. And he brought him back. Did he? It's ball 1. Here's the 1-2. This one, he has to retreat, and he's going to be safe. Jose Gonzalez almost got caught with his hand in a cookie jar. Well, it's a 2-2 count for Vernon. That one's low for ball 3. Full count up here for Jake Vernon with 1 out. And he brought it back. Did he? No, he didn't. Strikeout for Jake Vernon. Crimson Storm down to their final out with the tying run 90 feet away. And it's Christian Dent, the last hope for the Crimson Storm, with Neelums on deck. This one is hit. It's going to go to the second baseman, and he's thrown out at second. That'll end the ball game. Swasu gets a tough win against the Crimson Storm in Game 2 as they win by a score of 10-9. That's an impressive inning scoreboard over there, and I know SNU is heartbroken after that, but they still got one more game to play in about 30 minutes. Game 2, that will go 7 innings. And I'm looking over there. 1 run scored by each team in the first, nothing in the second. 3 by SNU in the third. 2 by SWASU in the fourth. 2 by both teams in the fifth. 2 by SWASU, 1 by SNU in the sixth. 1 by SWASU in the seventh. 2 by SWASU and 1 by SNU in the eighth. And 1 by SNU in the ninth. It just 90 feet away from tying in. I know SNU is heartbroken after that one. But we still got one more game to play here at Phelan Field. SNU versus SWASU. Game 3 is coming up right after this in about 20 to 30 minutes time, and we will be right here on SNUathletics.com to bring you that game. We'll be right back.